Hey everyone, welcome back to JM Farm and Cattle. So this week we didn't have a whole lot going on, a lot of odds and ends stuff. However, we did pick up our newest member of the family. This is Mabel. She is about 9-week-old hanging tree. Basically, if you don't know what a hanging tree is, a hanging tree is like the Cadillac of cow dogs. They are 3/8 border collie, an 1/8 Catahoula, a 1/4 Kelpie, and a 1/4 Australian Shepherd. So the hanging tree actually came from Hangin Tree Ranch. The owner of the Hangin Tree Ranch wanted basically a perfect cow dog, and so he created the Hangin Tree pup, and so those were his dogs that he used to create the Hangin Tree, and from there the Hangin Tree has just exploded, and they're very well-known dogs for cattle. Probably some of the smartest dogs for it, actually. But so we just picked her up this week. Like I said, she's only about 9 weeks old, so she's just a pup. You can already tell that she is very smart and intelligent with listening. We're learning some of the basics right now. We got her in a kennel in the garage. It's been pretty cold out, and she's just a pup, so she doesn't have all that fat on her yet and skin protection that she will get when she gets older. So for now, she's a garage dog where it's not too hot, not too cold. Basically, we're going to be training her, probably introduce her to some stock when I'm going to guess next fall. Might try introducing her to some sheep or some goats or something along the way, but we'll just basically work on her basic commands and get her ready for it, and then hopefully come fall or winter next year she'll be ready to work and try some stock. I'll get you a better video. What you think, Mabel? What you think? We will have a lot more videos to come as she gets older, and show you how the training's coming along, and hopefully she turns into a good cow dog. Well, now that you met Mabel and her background of the Hanging Tree, I figured I'd go on here and tell everybody my story, my background, and why I'm here. I started farming. I started working for my dad back when I was about 12. Obviously I was there the whole time growing up, always playing, but I never actually got to help out as much as I did till I was like 11 or 12. And I've been on the farm ever since. I've always wanted to be a farmer growing up. That's all I could talk about. That's all I could do. I basically go home and play with my little tractors when I was a kid and do exactly what my dad and grandpa and uncle did out in the field at home, and I'd tell my mom all about it, and she would just have to sit there and listen to me and put up with me the whole time. So ever since then I wanted to be a farmer. My dad told me when I got out of college, or not college, when I got out of high school, he told me that I needed to find a job to make some money besides farming, because I wouldn't be able to actually farm until I was over 21. So when I turned 18, I got my CDL for harvest. Back then you had to have a CDL to drive a truck, farmer or not. And a friend of mine was a truck driver, and he was telling me how his job was he drove truck, did all these loads, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Well, he got me into it, and December of 2012, I got out and I got my first truck and trailer and started hauling grain and commodities. From then, until I turned 21, I ended up having 4 trucks over the road. I had 3 drivers plus myself, and I had some owner-operators pulling loads. I got the opportunity when I turned 21 to farm, and I said yes, I'd do that. And I had to focus on farming more because it meant more to me than trucking did, because I'm a 4th generation farmer and I wanted to keep it in my family, and it's just something I always wanted to do. Kind of backed off of trucking a little bit, got rid of my trucks other than my own, and that way I had something to do in the winter when the farming was over, and I started farming for the first time. So this year is actually going to be my 4th year farming, and I've learned a lot. My dad taught me a lot growing up, and so did my grandpa and my uncle as well, but you never really learn as much as you do until you do it yourself. And from then on, it was just really cool to progress and, you know, just try and always better yourself and put up with the challenges. There's always going to be a challenge, no matter what you're into, what you want to do. You know, there's always an obstacle. And farming, for me, you know, it's a patient game. You gotta, you know, put up with the bad, and you know, you might not have a lot of good, but you gotta take the best you can. And so that was really fun to me when I started farming. You know, just knowing that I'm taking over, I'm starting in it, and I'm getting my hands dirty with it. So that's kind of a little bit of my background on the farming and stuff. As for YouTube, the reason I wanted to start YouTube and do videos was because I always laid in bed at night before I go to bed, and I would watch all these videos of other people's farming and ranching and just everything that other people did. And I thought it was so cool how different it was for other people. I mean, they could be 100 miles away or they could be 1,000 miles away, and the farming is so different, and even the ranch, I mean, everything's just different. And I just thought that was really cool, and I wanted to be able to show people, you know, what it's like for us, and basically how we do it in central Nebraska here. So that's why I started these videos. I got into cattle. My dad always had cattle growing up, not a lot, and I just always looked forward to working with the cows. I just always liked cattle. So 3 years ago, I started buying calves, and my goal was to fatten them up. So I started buying calves, and then I was like, I wanted to get in some cows and do the cow-calf pair. So I bought my first 3 cows 2 years ago, and then from there, I've just gotten more and more. I got about 40 pair now that I'm running with 2 bulls, and that's probably going to be about my limit. You know, in central Nebraska where we're at, everything's farm ground. We don't got a lot of pasture ground, and I don't want to feed over the summer. So that's about my cutoff of where I want to be. But I love doing everything with it. I've been learning a lot of how to vaccinate and work your own cows and brake check and everything like that. And it's really cool to be able to bring you guys along and show you how, you know, you guys learn basically how I learn. I mean, just watching and doing, and it's cool. And so I just kind of wanted to give back to the people that do videos that I watch to learn stuff. And I hope you guys find it interesting. So going forward into the future, farming, you know, the prices still aren't the greatest. So farming turns into not really just put the seed in the ground, hope it grows, and harvest it and get some money. It's going to be strategy. This year is going to be a lot of planning. I mean, you're going to have to think ahead. You know, you're going to have to budget. You're going to have to try new things, and part of that would be, you know, uniting with other farmers and getting together to get lower prices on products, you know, like seed and chemicals and stuff like that. So I think that's going to be something that you're going to have to look forward to in the future too, is kind of like budget cutting, but just strategy, playing it smart, being safe, and not so much trial and error. Another thing going forward with cattle would be just to maintain the herd, to maintain their body weight, to try and put more weight on calves, just keeping them steady. Going forward with YouTube and videos and stuff like that, I want to get a lot more videos out this spring that will be a little bit more in depth of like farming and working cows. There's not a lot we can do in the winter, so it's kind of hard to be specific on what we're doing. But starting in April, we will be able to hopefully be back in the field, hopefully the end of March. Depends how the spring goes. So we'll have videos still once a week, and it'll be a lot more in-depth. We do have a few rebuilds going on yet this year. We got an anhydrous rig that we're completely rebuilding. That'll be coming up. We got a cattle chute that we're going to be rebuilding. The people are going to come get their cows from up north in the middle of February, sometime around then. Calving will be here about the end of February, beginning of March. So we got a lot of cool things coming up. The summer is going to be busy, as always, and all the way into the fall. So I hope that you all follow me along and enjoy these videos. I have a lot of fun making these videos, and I hope you enjoy watching them. Well, that wraps up this week's video, and hopefully you guys learned something about me and my past. I hope you liked this video, this introduction. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and tag along. I put a new video out every Monday morning. If you have subscribed, thank you, I appreciate it. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.